What up, YouTube Digital? Yesterday I was poking around the internet and watched a couple videos, and somebody, I forgot even who, they were talking about how Greece and Spain and Portugal and Italy were having a bad day, and they made a comment about, it should be back around to America soon. Basically, those countries are really having a bad day, and they're insinuating that America is going to have a shit-filled day too because of their economic problems. And one of the things that upsets me about YouTube is people will try to group us with Greece and Italy and Spain and Portugal and Ireland, and they can't do basic research. First off, don't go to any of these blog fucking bullshit sites that are just filled with fucking fails. Okay. There's a whole shit storm that was going on there that has nothing to do with America or our financing. And I'll try to explain it the best I can. If anybody feels I'm wrong, be an adult. Show something that's not on a blogosphere. I don't give a fuck what blogger said what, because blogs are useless these days. Show me something real, and maybe I'll change my opinion or update it. But for people need to understand that in Europe, if you look at a map, Europe, all the major countries, Germany, France, UK, Spain, Portugal, so it's about the size of the United States, all these countries. Alright, so first off, matter of fact, I'll be politically correct, and let's open up a map and you guys can look at a map instead of me, so that we can have some reference here. Funny, it's actually, yeah, about that. So, maybe I should lower my instant messenger. I don't think people need to see my instant messenger name. Don't need to get spam. Alright, let's look at a map here. And sorry, it's maybe I can make it to scale here. Okay, that's a little better. Let me flip this around. So, okay, now we're focused more on there. So, okay. Now, this area right here, okay, that's there. See how it's about the same size as here, okay? Roughly. Okay, we're not going to get out the calculator and calculate landmass. Alright. So, because these areas are very close to each other, including Ukraine and Turkey, people travel in this area frequently. If you live in the United Kingdom, it's not out of the ordinary for you to take a weekend trip, or a few days off, and go to Italy or the south of France or Spain or Greece. It's not an uncommon thing. Because if you go from London to Rome, it's about 1,000 miles. Well, in the United States, if you go from LA to Seattle, that's about 1,000 miles. I've made that trip myself. Alright? So this is not out of the ordinary. Matter of fact, it's on Top Gear frequently. I think that the Bugatti Veyron race that they did between the Bugatti and a plane, they went from the northern Italy area to back home to United Kingdom, and they raced. But let's go in here. So you live in the United Kingdom, or you live in France or Germany or Norway, Sweden, or Finland. You live in these more money countries with more money to go around. You're traveling all over these places. These are some of the world's biggest travelers are in these countries right here, because just geographics. All right. So one of the things that they've been trying to do since World War II is try to unify these countries in a way that they can rival the United States. All right. So this isn't just yesterday that the shit's been going downhill. This has been going downhill since World War II. Now they've been trying the euro since I believe the 60s is when that first incarnation of it, and it was a bright idea because you got all of these countries, and when you go from London to Austria, if you need to get gas in all these places, how screwed up in exchange rates and all that other crap do you got to deal with? So, and then it's just a big fucking horseshit mess. So they came up with the euro to help do this. And when Germany fell and became, East and West Germany joined again, that's what really got the euro rolling, because now you got this big superpower. Germans, people think the Japanese, Japanese ain't got shit on Germans, man. They don't. They don't got shit on their technology. They don't got shit on their drive, their schooling or anything else. Germany's a powerhouse. It's always been a powerhouse, and it always will be a powerhouse. But these guys are an industrial fucking behemoth. So these other countries are trying to even this all out and come up with a euro that everybody can do. All right. So all during the time when they're trying to get the euro off the ground, the biggest problem is you have these countries here, okay, that their GDP is pretty much shit. Because when was the last time you heard of Greece having what do you buy made in Greece? You don't. Made in Italy, besides Ferrari or Vespa. Spain. I mean, the biggest thing that Spain has going for is it's got the drug trade from Morocco, Portugal. These are tourist areas. These are the Mediterranean tourist areas, and that's what they are about. That's where most of their money comes from. Sorry, I'm waiting for deliveries, so apparently I'm not getting one from FedEx today. But okay, so people from Europe travel to these places all the time, where it would cost us like $5,000 to go to Greece. If you live in London, it probably costs you like $500. So these places are heavily traveled by other Europeans. All right, so most of their money is not exports, it's tourism. In Italy and stuff like that, the nepotism there is just atrocious. People hand off their jobs to their kids. And they don't really have that much industry besides a few, some sports cars. So you got all of these countries that are not doing that great, and they're borrowing shit tons of money to fill in the gaps when tourism is not doing the greatest. So their debt rate is not that great, okay? But now you got this powerhouse here. You got UK is not doing too bad, and you got France is a little less than UK, not doing too bad. But you got these countries right here that are, they're doing okay. But they want to make a euro so it works all through here. So one of the rules that they try to get one of the biggest problems with the euro is they had to get everybody on the same page. Everybody's money had to be worth the same to cash it out. So a German, was it Deutschmark or whatever it was, had to be worth the same as a pound, And that was a very hard thing to do because of the debt Greece and Italy and Spain and Portugal had. And then, so they found ways to cook the books to lower their debt. And they made a resolution where to join the euro, they were going to be excluded. But then at that point, if they were excluded, it would be kind of useless to have the euro. So they turned around, they let them in with a resolution saying that you had to be actively working on lowering your debt to GDP. So these countries said, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. And the way that they did that was with tricky loans. And what they did is they showed the interest rate near zero for the loans, so their payments and right now what they owed were basically zero. But the backlash is they were going to have balloon payments at the end. No one realized that because that wasn't disclosed. So they were hiding massive amounts of debt. And nobody really realized how bad that was. So they can make the euro, everything is okay. Now the euro is growing and growing, and people in America are making money off it. I know people that traded at the, when it became live, and they made a lot of money on it. Okay? Yep. But then on top of that, here's what happened. Okay? After, there are some hiccups along the way. But here's where Ireland and stuff like that even got more screwed up, is Ireland needed to borrow money. Okay, but before, when these countries would borrow money, their interest rate would be based on their debt to GDP and their credit rating, yada yada. But now, how do you figure out their net to GDP? Because usually you're borrowing it to figure out what their money will be worth in the future. But their money is not their money anymore. Their money is everyone's money. So people were allowing these countries to borrow gigantic amounts of money because they're linked, Greece is linked directly with Germany. So Germany's a powerhouse. Okay? Germany's a powerhouse. Their credit rating will never be wrong. Their credit rating will always be the best. They're always going to have the best, debt to GDP, yada 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 bullshit. But Greece is struggling bad. And when everything started hitting, Greece was slowly, borrowing money. But the banks were allowing Greece to borrow money, not with their credit rating, but with Germany's credit rating. With Germany's. And the same with Ireland, the same with Spain, the same with Portugal, the same with Italy. They were all borrowing money based on Germany's performance. So that would be like you getting credit cards off your parents' credit score, and you have no job. Sure, you might get that nice 0% APR credit card, but you can't make the payments. Now, so they're barely able to make the payments, and then the shit hits the fan. Now, nobody in the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Poland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark can go to these northern Mediterranean tropical tourist destinations because they have no money. Everybody's, cutting down. What's one of the first things that go on when you have to tighten the belt? Vacations. Now these places have no money. Now they can't pay for their debt. And then it gets revealed that not only were they able to borrow just shit tons of money off of Germany's credit rating, but they were also hiding debt beforehand when they joined the EU, not the EU, but the Euro. And it all started crashing. Their problems are not our problems. Their problems have nothing to do with us. Yes, some of our banks have loaned them money. Not that much. It's mostly United Kingdom's banks and everything else, and China and other places, Saudi Arabia, shit like that. People need to stop putting their bullshit on us. We got our own problems. We are coming out of our problems. UK is coming out of their problems. Germany, they had some problems, not that much. They had plenty. We're doing okay right now. We're not doing the greatest. We're not at the pre fallout stage or anywhere else like that. We're doing about the same as probably what this happened. I mean, the same type of bullshit happened in America back in 1982, 83, somewhere in there. And we're right about where we were like in 1989. We're just kind of steady. We're growing slowly. We're doing okay. It's okay. This is the type of growth that we want. We don't want the big spikes in fucking all of a sudden housing triples in value. We don't want that. We want the slow, nice growth with the few ups, here and there to give a little kick in the pants. But overall, that's what we want. And people became used to us just shooting through the roof and everything else. Well, it's not good to do that. What goes up must come down. So, the slower the climb is going up, the better it is. So, anywho, again, this is just my opinion. So, if anyone wants to get butthurt or anything else, or anyone wants to try to explain a little better, or disagree or whatever, let me know. But from everything that I've been researching on this, because I knew that the Greece and Spain and Italy was based on tourism. I already knew that. I already knew why they didn't have any money, but I didn't understand how they were able to get the amounts of debt that they were. And it was because they were hiding it to join the euro. So this has been an ongoing thing for 20 years now? About 20 years. So they've been hiding this now for a long time. And then on top of that, they were able to get shit tons of more loans, at Germany's rates, because they share the same money as Germany. This is a huge problem with the euro. I don't believe in a one world money thing, because it's already a nightmare with trying to align all these countries and all their problems in a row to make them be able to join the euro. But the euro was kind of a good idea. The problem is they made too many exceptions to let people in, because they were also part of the European Union. And that's where they failed. They should have not let these North Mediterranean countries in. They should have let them handle their shit, let them really get their shit down, and really looked at their finances, before they let them in. And then they should not have allowed them to be able to borrow money based on other countries' credit rating just because they share a currency. Because banks that were involved in loaning money there were idiots. They didn't think that the currency could fall. But then again, none of them knew how much money was being borrowed until it was too late. And there was enough loaned to make the euro dive. And this isn't really banks' fault. This is people in Greece and Italy and Spain and Portugal and Ireland's fault. And then also people in the European Union who played too nice and allowed them to join in the first place just because they were part of the European Union. So, again, it's all just my opinion. But please stop making their problems our problems. If you don't understand, go out and look for yourself, but don't believe those independent bullshit blogs that never tell the fucking whatever. I don't know. They're just trash. Blogs have become such fucking useless shit traps of the internet. Anyhoozle, peace.